We made it. We're almost end of the week. And then the weekend. The weekend begins. I am doing a very fun but requested ASMR video by a very long-term subscriber, and she enjoyed the video I did about the top 10 relationship toxic narcissistic red flags video. Sorry, my dog Mr. Moose is on the couch because I have food nearby. I have food. I do. So anyways, as I was saying, guys, basically she was worried about how to handle and manage anxiety, which I know myself included, and so many of us face that on a daily or basis or sometime in our life. So I'm going to switch over to soft talking. It might help my throat. As you know, I yesterday posted in a post I've been having really bad allergy attacks, so sore throat, nasal congestion, drippage, all that yucky, gunky stuff. So I'm going to do soft talking in the video, some mic brushing, as I look on my laptop to explain what anxiety is, different disorders, the whole shebang, the whole spiel. I have my AC running. It's kind of hot, so hopefully, oh my gosh, my hair's out of control today, guys. Yeah, hopefully that goes away. It's like this one strand. I can't make this up. So, without further ado, let's get started. This is also like join me for lunch because I'm on my work lunch break. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna cut this out. I'm not. I had background and I want to keep that background. I really do. So. We are just gonna put that like that. Okay. Good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so as I was saying, alright, off to a chaotic start. Sorry guys. I just don't like to hide things. I'm very transparent with you. So, I got my McAllister's lunch. I got a Diet Dr. Pepper. Again, this is not a mukbang, but I will be eating because I'm on my work break. And I got my salad, Savannah salad with raspberry low-fat vinaigrette dressing. Okay. So, let me take a sip. So thank you for joining me for lunch today. I will take a quick shot of the lait salad. Smells really good with grilled chicken. And I just wanted to get a video out today because I promised my lovely friend subscriber that I would do this. So let's talk about anxiety. I feel like it's a term that is used a lot. Not too often, but I think sometimes it is misunderstood or not taken as real or as serious as it can be. So anxiety is part of everyday life for most people. It's actually a pretty normal response in risky, stressful situations. Almost 1 in 3 adults will have an anxiety disorder at some point. 1 in 3 adults, so 18 plus. But it's interesting because it says at some point. I don't know if it always stays. So I know in different stages of life we are all experiencing some type of stress, or or it could be past trauma. Um, Anxiety is basically a fear of feeling of fear itself, or feeling uneasy. It could be a normal reaction to stress, like at work or a test or finals at your schooling. It could even be in a relationship. Abusive, toxic one, sure, coming home every day to that. But it gets more severe with an anxiety disorder. That's when you have anxiety that doesn't really ever go away, it says, and it can get worse over time, especially without addressing it or being aware of it, and can get in the way of everyday functional life activities. So let's talk about the types. And after I read some of this, I will be giving my own personal accounts, opinions. Hope that's okay. So there's generalized anxiety disorder. So good. This is typically generalized, so an unrealistic worry about everyday task. Then there's panic disorder. You feel sudden fear, like pure fear, that causes a panic attack. This may include like excessive sweating, chest pain, pounding heart. Then there's one that sounds pretty self-explanatory. It's social anxiety disorder. You feel overwhelming worry about social situations, people, guys. You're likely overly self-conscious and fear others are constantly judging you. So very self-conscious. I know different stages and ages. I remember when I was younger, especially like a teen, and even after, like in college, I was a lot more always worried what people were thinking of me or looking at me. Okay. This is a big one. This is probably me more than anything. I'm not self-diagnosed, but I can definitely relate. Post-traumatic stress disorder. This develops if you had shocking, scary, or dangerous experiences. It's also known as PTSD. Often causes a fight or flight response to help you avoid potential danger. So, to me, that tells me a lot of trauma. Okay. And lastly, phobias. It's actually a common anxiety. You have a tense fear of something that poses little or no danger. So with all that said, under that umbrella, regardless of what type you may have or just general, what are some anxiety symptoms? Anxiety can cause several symptoms. Most often people feel overly worried, and again, that fearful word. It can make it hard to sleep at night, sleep in, and concentrate. The symptoms of anxiety are uneasy feeling, panic, or danger. Trouble sleeping, unable to stay calm and still. You're cold, sweaty, or tingly in your hands or feet. Trouble breathing, that can include both shortness of breath and breathing faster than normal. A dry mouth, dizziness or feeling weak. Can't stop thinking about a problem. It's like a loop in your head that won't go away, like obsessive. Unable again to concentrate, and also can associate a strong fear, that word fear again, of objects or certain places that remind you of that fear. Okay. So this is really, as I'm still reading the info to you guys, this is the part of the article that I really like. What's the difference between fear and anxiety? Because you're like, aren't they kind of interchangeable? Aren't they the same, Bubbly? Fear is something that everyone experiences in life. It's a normal response to any type of threat, basically. Fear involves the five senses of sight, hearing, smell of taste, and touch. These senses send information to our brain that trigger for a fear response in our brain. Okay. So fear is very natural. We're all going to experience it. We've all experienced it if you're watching this video. However, anxiety is a reaction to our emotions. That's the key right there. I'm seeing emotions instead of a real danger and threat. It's often due to something in our past, and that continues to have an impact on us currently. Okay. So I'm going to dive into that. I'm almost done reading. So now we move to the part 2. How is an anxiety disorder treated and all that? The most effective treatments for anxiety disorders, remember all the ones we talked about, can include, doesn't have to, medication and cognitive behavioral therapies, also known as CBT. Mm-hmm. Both of these medications and therapy have been very effective in treating most, always the exception for anxiety disorders. I'm not going to get too much into the type of medication. If you're curious, you can find out. And again, that therapy is cognitive behavioral therapy. Because I'm not a licensed therapist or psychologist, these are again just my opinions and information from outside sources, guys. But I'll skip over, there's a medication for it. CBT is a type of psychotherapy that focuses on a patient's specific symptoms instead of on the patient's childhood or past trauma stressful events. CBT therapy teaches the patient ways of changing some of the thinking patterns and behavior patterns that contribute to anxiety. Most people who suffer from anxiety disorder will receive great benefits from this type of treatment therapy. Again, with medication, both treatments are often given together, okay? If that's right for you, with even better results, possibly. Mm-hmm. But, last part, maybe you're not diagnosed with official disorder, but you're saying, hey, all those symptoms you read to me, and as I'm listening to you, I feel like I definitely have some serious anxiety going on. So what can you do on your own to relieve in general just anxiety that you're feeling, and it's real and it's validated? self-care, which I'm a big personally believer on, is so important to combat anxiety. The research has shown there are many activities to help reduce stress response. Yoga, meditation, tai chi, and many other forms, massages and exercise can lower anxiety. It's also important to combat, okay, so the fear part again. Avoid things that give you, so it's different for everyone, very personal, that give you anxiety can make it continue and even get worse. Okay? Some treatments for anxiety are not to avoid the triggers, but to expose yourself to what causes anxiety as much as you can tolerate. If you slowly expose yourself to that particular stress trigger, phobia, let's say, your brain learns not to react to that particular trigger. So, with all that said, guys, okay, I know after reading that, and before reading that, I can so relate to having anxiety issues. I can tell you I've never been formally diagnosed or seek treatment for anxiety. I think for me, you're kind of taught, maybe, or subconsciously think through society and family, maybe even friends or partners, that you shouldn't be feeling the way that you're feeling. It's not that bad. Look, you can still work, you can still go to school, you're succeeding, but the truth is, you're feeling what you're feeling for a reason, and don't ignore your brain or your body, regardless of how anyone else is telling you or invalidating you. I know for me, I'm so sorry, my other little puppy, anytime I'm out here in the living room, decides to have a yapper fest. So I'm going to try to continue. Hopefully I don't have to cut this out, but and not lose my train of thought. That basically oh my gosh, I'll drink. That basically it's our important. Okay, I am back. I'm hoping my puppy stops barking. I'm trying, guys. I might have to cut this video short, but I wanted to say I hope this information has really helped. You know, speaking of a puppy, this might sound silly, but or if you have a child, a young child or a baby, talk about stress or extra worry. That can cause a lot of anxiety. I don't think people talk about that enough, being first-time mom and dads, and your feelings very justified. Sometimes that's very normal, and I think it might be a temporary thing, and you can learn to soothe your own mind and your own body. But having an outlet for it, or taking a break for it, having a support system is really important. And I also think validating your feelings and not feeling shame about having anxiety. And sometimes it's like, let's face it, it's a scary world out there. It's very much warranted too. So that's more, I would call, like, how could you not be anxious, right? What's what you do with that anxious energy, right, of current situations. Then I think there's that post-traumatic stress disorder, Again, you don't have to be officially diagnosed. I'm not huge on labels. I don't know about you. I think it can be helpful and very healthy and sometimes necessary, but I don't think, because sometimes the lack of access to mental health care, or if you don't check every little box for some reason, that you aren't really experiencing like anxiety, if that makes sense. I think you totally are. For me, again, I haven't been diagnosed, but mine is a lot with the fear aspect of it. From the past. So, I mean, there's nothing in my current life that is causing me anxiety, like right in front of me, right? I'm not seeing it physically. It isn't present, physically, but it's still living in my head. Trauma, which equals fear, and certain triggers, like they mentioned, can bring out that anxiety. Mine was from a very toxic and abusive relationship not that long ago. And I still struggle with it every day of trying to find ways that doesn't enter my mind, especially sleeping in dreams. They say you might not be able to fall asleep or stay asleep, but with anxiety, mine is more about having sometimes nightmares or anxious dreams. And then physical stuff, like being area, if you still live near the area where that trigger was, let's say was a person, like in my relationship, still haunting, and also the fear of, oh, maybe they're right over there, but they're not there. Like, oh, they're going to come visit me at my new place, but he doesn't know my address. And it's going to keep it that way. But I still have that fear he could show up. Now, and then I have body reactions to those fears. My heart races, it's hard to breathe. I have gotten sweaty. I feel a little dizzy. I shake. And I just shut down. So this anxiety covers a whole reasons and causes for it. But the one thing we all have in common is how prevalent it really is, guys. And how to manage it. First, sit with your feelings and find out, what do I feel the most anxious about day to day? Or is this like a weekly thing? Is it a couple times a year this pops up? Or is it more frequent, like daily? And either one, learn about what your mind and body are telling you. Recognize what triggers, if there are any. And then you decide you need help outside of yourself. I mean, go to see a therapist. If you think so. Right? I also reevaluate your work, if it has to do with work and school, your work or school load. Setting boundaries. Breathing techniques. And exercise before you go to school or work, or after a long day. You could do in the morning or evening some type of stretching, and maybe perhaps meditation, whatever that looks like. Relaxing music, not watching the news or reading TV, like technology or social media, but just being with yourself. Maybe listening to the birds chirp in the morning, sipping on your tea or coffee. Being alone with your own thoughts, not other people influencing their negative energy and stress onto you. self-care is probably the most important to combat anxiety. And that's what I've learned too with my own, and currently still trying to self-care and self-love, because only you can do that for yourself. A therapist gives you tools, right? And is good to be a listening ear and advice and gives you the tools for yourself, but you still have to participate. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I must drink this whole thing, guys. Crazy, huh? What else before we head out? Because I do have to go to work. I do. Just, I know it might be kind of cliche, but breathe in like this. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold it as long as you can. Feel it. Then let it go, let go. I really think there's a lot of things you can get for breathing techniques too. You can get it's like a rubber glowy type light. It could be like a kitty cat. It looks kind of cartoonish. It's like this big. You could put it like on next to your bed, like on your nightstand or wherever. You mimic the breathing, like it lights up when you breathe in and breathe out and holding. And those are the breathing techniques I was talking about. So those are actual tools you can practice. And not be hard on yourself for personal advice. It is tough, I feel like more than ever, regardless of what you do, what age you are, where you live, what stage you are, your lifestyle. There's so many reasons, and our brain sometimes is really good like tricking us, and I think people don't give enough credit to the brain of not deceive, but it holds things deep inside that we're not even aware of until we start really sitting with those feelings. And it takes time to manage anxiety, and it's okay if even it never goes away completely. I just want to have the most peace for mental and physical health, well-being, peace in me, peace in my life, and you deserve that too. You really do. I wish I could do a little bit longer. I might do a part 2 to this, but those I think was really good information in figuring out what the heck is, because that word again is thrown around a lot, I feel, from us, and it needs to get the credit, like the seriousness it deserves. And I hope for anything, again, you are amazing, you're wonderful, and it's okay to be scared and anxious. It's what you do with it and recognize, and then help yourself, self-care, and you'll be amazed at the results of the peace that it can bring you. Because don't we just all want peace, guys? Okay. I also will leave you if you have like special allergies during the springtime, especially maybe where you live. It's really dusty. I am just struggling so much. So I will hope to keep making videos as often right now. It's funny, I was feeling better this morning, but now it's like coming back as soon as I started this video. So think good thoughts for me. Wish me luck, guys. But I'll be okay.